recent large Austrian Oumuamua. The latest observational data from Atlas generated a lot of discussion and the Hubble telescope looked at him, and the results were intriguing. First, look at the alien technology products circulating mainly on the focuses on these 3 points. One is the perfect trajectory, Atlas flight path, almost perfectly orbiting the ecliptic plane of the solar system. This is similar to the previous interstellar visitor, and Borisov's randomly inclined orbit. It's completely different. This is interpreted probably as to make it easier to observe the major planets in the system. The paper even speculates he may have been flying by Mars and Jupiter, deployed a miniature spy device. The second is covert approach timing, calculated from orbit. Atlas, it will arrive at perihelion from the end of October to November this year. He happens to be on the opposite side of the sun. It is almost impossible to make optical observations from Earth. Loeb's team believes this could be a calculated covert strategy. The goal is to use the sun to avoid being used by telescopes on Earth. Study its surface details in detail, and in this unobserved window, perform some secret mission, such as launching devices to Earth, or make orbital adjustments. And 3, hints of hostility. This paper directly uses words like potential hostility to describe this object, and discussed in the paper if he really is alien technology. Humans may need to consider planetary defense measures. Of course, none of these ideas are accepted by the scientific community. These words directly discuss the idea of an astronomy experimental paper. It has been twisted into a story about potential threats to Earth's security. But Atlas and the previous Oumuamua, there is indeed a big difference. There are also many mysteries. But what is certain is that this comet will not threat to the Earth. When he was closest to our Earth, the distance will still be about 1.6 astronomical units. This is more than 600 times farther than the distance from the Moon to the Earth. Let's discuss it in detail below. Scientists' latest observational data. And then there's the Hubble telescope. Look at the extraterrestrials this time. What's so special about it? First of all, Atlas has a very high eccentricity. A 0 eccentricity is a perfect circle. Any value greater than 1, enough to get rid of the object. The attractive forces surrounding celestial bodies, movement in space. So with an eccentricity of 6, this comet has so far measured one of the most extreme hyperbolic trajectories. This might explain why does it travel so far into space? Come to us. What's even more exaggerated is the speed at which the comet is traveling. Speeds up to 58 kilometers per second. Run the length of 580 football fields per second. This makes Atlas the one we have seen, the fastest interstellar comet. The speed of Austria and Borisov back only then, 26 kilometers per second and 32 kilometers per second, and that's caused by the different shapes of their orbits. Faced with such a rapid approach, astronomers are eager to determine Atlas' exact trend. The current orbit is the Nician orbit, centered around the sun. Astronomers can reach him before we were here. Infer its entry trajectory. At its closest approach to the sun on October 30th, the comet will be 1 point for astronomical units located from the sun, just inside the orbit of Mars. On the way to the orbit of this comet, you can see it approaching. Presented asymptote shape, it passed by Mars, and then social space. This graph shows Atlas won't be as close to the sun as Oscillant. Its trajectory will be more like Borisov. This is an extraordinary piece of his identity full of mysteries. So how do astronomers see through his disguise? The answer lies in images from telescopes around the world. Using to LCO telescopes located in Hawaii, astronomers for Atlas scheduled an hour-long observation sequence. Their goal is to determine the comet's light curve and observe whether he exhibits any autobiography. Mutant star. That's when the comet rotates around its axis of rotation, caused brightness change. But by monitoring the change in brightness over time, astronomers can identify repeating patterns. Finally, astronomers determine the comet's rotation period is approximately 29 hours. Although there is much information about Atlas, further observations are needed to determine this. But according to Atlas light curve, it's much flatter than Oumuamua. In 29 hours, shows only a 0 point to magnitude change in brightness. Although the brightness change is small, but Atlas is bright. It's what we've seen so far. The brightest interstellar object. Not only quantity, but also large. According to the assumed albedo value, the diameter of its confluence is estimated to be 10 kilometers. An order of magnitude bigger than Oumuamua. Even better than Abalone, with a diameter between 1 to 2 kilometers. For now, such a large extraterrestrial visitor is very rare. You know, in the universe, there are far more small objects than large ones. It's like walking on the beach. The possibility of seeing 1 million is much more likely than seeing a boulder. Further observations also revealed that shows a weak level of activity. As Hubble photographed, this comet has a rimmed hair. It was exposed by the comet troopers, produced by sublimation during solar time, glowing halos of dust and gas. You can see it in the center of this image. It's a diffuse circle around convergence. This image is tracking a moving comet, so the stars around it look blurry. But in addition to sending Atlas, there is also a minor planet center. A triangular second tail across the sky has been reported. The angle is approximately 280 That's pretty short. So in this image of the comet, tails are often hidden by paintings. Okay, we have all the evidence. Now let's look back. The reason why someone would involve aliens, the premise is that it had to be a giant asteroid. Because after seeing this, before the giant interstellar object, we're looking at lots and lots of smaller interstellar objects. Considering it's just confirmed third star, celestial body, spotting a giant in the game so early, the probability of asteroids is negligible. It does increase the possibility that the object is artificial, but only if it's an asteroid. And that's what prompted Harvard's Avileb. He co-authored the paper. But the core of the paper is to propose a thought experiment. The author makes it clear in the paper that they believe that this celestial body, most likely a harmless natural comet, only in the case of Atlas, inspire people to think, when an alien object enters our solar system, what will it look like? Back to Atlas. His surface is the same as Oumuamua and Borisov. Atlas is much redder than the Sun. Slightly redder than topographic asteroids from the asteroid belt. Since he is active, some of the reflected light must come from Atlas meeting. We've seen this with the tyrannical Same situation. The reflectivity of the meeting is drowned out by the meeting signal. And as the comet gets closer to us, new measurements will be able to confirm this. The final discovery of Atlas let astronomers estimate the number of interstellar objects. Do a re-estimate. According to a paper, scientists have deduced that in every cubic astronomical unit of space, the density of only 0.001 interstellar better objects. Than what we found out. Peace and violence is much smaller. Currently it has been collected, all information about Atlas. Then between him and Borisov and Austria, what are the differences? Where do they originate? The first major difference. That's what Atlas doesn't seem to have. Borisov is active. Borisov shows significant cometary activity. The size of its dust will increase by about 1% per day. This suggests that he had already made his first observation for about 100 days. He also has a longer tail, 140,000 kilometers into space. Now, maybe Atlas hasn't been exposed enough yet. Water ice sublimation under the sun. This increases activity levels. But Borisov, at 4.5 astronomical units from the sun, entered a period of intense activity, and Atlas is closer than that. So it seems unlikely. That year, Silent also did not demonstrate a high level of activity. No ice can sublimate under the glare of the sun, so he didn't evaporate or tail. Astronomers have still trying to explain this lack of activity. The most recent hypothesis is he may be emitting volatile substances, but dust production is low, so it was not found in the observation. But Atlas does have a meeting, so this explanation doesn't apply to all stars. The most famous of these is the Slender Shade, sparking a huge debate about its origins. He is believed to have objects shaped by tidal forces, fragments of planets, or an aggregate of several smaller objects. And the speculation about Borisov its components are related to the sun. The components commonly seen in comets are different. It is relative to water. Contains higher-grade supervolatile carbon monoxide. This shows that it may have formed in a carbon-rich environment. Consistent with this observation, it was suggested that Borisov was formed in a flat red dwarf with lower average temperature. In the star system, the temperature is so low for carbon monoxide to condense and blend into the comet. But what about the origin of Atlas? Mentioned before, Atlas shooting into the sun at a speed of 58 kilometers per second. It turns out the stellar age of the object. There is a relationship between its speed. Suppose the following pair of Atlas also holds. The age of the comet could be 3 billion, 11 billion years. This will be Atlas at least biosilently 30 times older than Borisov, 3 times older. Hints of a unique and distant interstellar origin. Speculation aside, all 3 of these interstellar visitors have their own unique characteristics. So we can put this comet as an exciting new opportunity for discovery and look forward to the scientific insights it may reveal. After all, interstellar objects are rare. Who knows how long it will take to meet again next time? And the true origin of these interstellar objects, it's still a major subject of scientific inquiry. As for follow-up observations, the Weibo telescope will be launched in August. The comet made an observation before it reached perihelion. Then in December, observe again after perihelion. And Hubble will have more follow-up observations. By analyzing the chemical makeup of this ancient comet, we might lose money. Even older than the solar system, early comets billions of years ago. What did it bring to the exoplanet? We know comets contain organic matter, bedrock of life. It includes amino acids. They are probably like planets in the universe, including the Earth, played an important role in transporting living matter. Such a precious sample. Can we send a probe to take a closer look? The answer may disappoint you. It is no longer possible to start from Earth, because he's going too fast, and we found out too late. But scientists come up with a brilliant backup plan. Using veterans on Mars. There were papers can be used from those who are about to. The Mars rover that ended its mission. If there is enough fuel left, it can use its own rocket engine to complete this task. After all, from coma, sample collection and return to the task that has been done before. As long as we can catch up. Using existing instruments and techniques to analyze interstellar comets. It's possible. The problem is just timing and speed. Currently, the Mars rover is approaching the end of its mission, including the Mars Odyssey, Mars Express, MEVN Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and ExoMars Measuring Gas Orbiter. They are all equipped for leaps, Atlas imaging, and scientific instruments, using detectors that are about to be decommissioned. There is also precedent for performing additional tasks. Was guided towards Saturn at the end of the mission, before the crash, obtaining unprecedented close-up data on Saturn, and succeeded. So let's just say that will start at the end of astronomical October this year. Observations will be very interesting. If your conditions permit, you can start around September. Keep an eye out for this comet with ground-based telescopes until it disappears behind the sun. The star will reappear from behind the sun in early December. Get ready for another round of Earth observations. And of course, don't worry if you don't have a telescope. I will keep tracking the latest discoveries from major observatories and bring you interpretation as soon as possible. Click to follow. Let's witness this together. The mysteries of the universe revealed to us by interstellar visitors.